Yasmine, this is a this is a not as joyous day as usual. I'm very weighed down with the status of where we're at in as a country, as humanity, just with the things that are happening, the killings that are taking place. We've got this beautiful young lady from the Ukraine who was killed the other day on a train, and it's so sad that she her death is sad in of itself. But the thing
Yes.
that is most sad is that the people on the train there did nothing. Her name was Ariana Zarutska. Ariana Zarutska. And they did nothing. They just sat and watched her die. And that just the death is one thing, but for people to do nothing, from your perspective, the state of things where we are as a country, as a people, can we even have
Excuse me.
because we're the area that she's from, they've defunded the police in that area. So the police force is way down. So the murder rate is going up. What is your perspective of defunding the police? Do you think that's a good idea? Think it's a bad idea? Do you think are there reasons behind it that you think they should defund or they should decrease the amount of police? Or do you think we should what is your perspective?
On police?
Yeah.
I think police is there to, I mean, I'm coming, I don't know. I think police is necessary, to keep the order, especially when we talk about murders or, areas in the United States that are heavily impacted by crime. So I am pro police until they don't act how they are supposed to act. Until, I think if police officers stay neutral and just stay with the facts, it's fine. But I think police is often emotionally engaged or involved and they lose track of what's really, wait. So all of a sudden, all this anger comes out and maybe misplaced anger or I don't know. I think in general, I think police is necessary to keep the order and especially in, I mean, I am still catching up on everything that's happened in the last few days, kind of like she was Ukrainian and she
Right.
was culturally diverse on the train and the people around just watching, nobody coming to her
Mm.
rescue, as you told me, based on the videos that you saw. And it's horrifying to think of me being on a train, on a BART train to San Francisco, and this happening to me, and everybody around me is just staying seated. I'm like, yeah,
Well, to be honest, I
it's
thought of you when I
unimaginable.
saw this because you're very similar in age, you and her. You're very close to the same age. So
Thank you for the compliment. I'm twice her age, I think.
she is 23 years old. Okay, so
Three
but
times her age.
but she was also blonde haired and very Caucasian, extremely Caucasian. And when I first saw it, I didn't even think because the person that stabbed her is black, is African American, and I didn't even think of race. I mean, it didn't even occur to me. But then as they span out and you see all these people that are doing nothing, they literally sat there and watched her die. And the killing in and of itself, I mean, that's part of life in the world, sadly to say. I mean, there's murders that take place. And I wasn't all emotionally really struggling until I saw the people doing nothing. That's when I lost my cookies, man. I was like ready to hug porcelain. And the thing that I kept thinking of was those people. How do they live with themselves to not do anything to help this lady?
I totally hear you. I hear you, Todd. But on the other hand, those people have been watching, you know, the reverse for many, many centuries or many, many years. That, it could have been reversed, that it would have been, I'm not saying it would have happened the same way, but it's, I don't know. I think African Americans have so much history and so much hmm, they're carrying so much anger and uh, injustice, and that when something like that happens, I'm not sure if many of them just froze when they saw it happening, or um, some of them might have been like, "What the heck is happening?" And they were too much in the moment. I wouldn't say that this was racism. I honestly, I don't want,
Well, I
I'm
don't
not
know if
that
there's
way.
racism. I have no
Right.
idea. All I know is nobody did anything to help.
Yes.
That's the number one thing. And
Yes.
whether she was white or black or brown or purple or whatever, I would I would expect, just from a humanity standpoint of
Yes.
view, to do something to help
Yes.
her. Because quite frankly, she's stabbed in the neck. I if we hear of people, we hear of hockey players that got hit with the skate and got hit right in the jugular, and they grab it. They there's things you can do
Yes.
to help. I believe this woman could have survived the attack. The attack is a whole
Hmm.
different discussion, but she could have survived it if people would have stepped up and helped.
I
And
know,
then
it's so
then we
sad.
go just a few days, just yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday we have here in Utah a very pro-speech activist. His whole mantra was, if we don't have open dialogue, if we're not speaking to each other, violence is going to happen. That's what Charlie Kirk's whole premise was either we're going to be talking, either we're connecting, either we're having a dialogue, or there's going to be violence. And somebody killed him. I mean, they just killed him on a campus, on a college campus,
Hmm.
when he's out there having pro speech discussions. And it just makes me wonder, from where do you what do you think in regard to the role, or I should say, are we able to have a dialogue in this country anymore? Is free speech truly even available?
Todd, I'm completely out of my element in today's Zoom because those are both of the subjects, and anything outside of our normal discussions is uh, for me more of a private matter. But
Right.
free speech, it all depends. This is just, these are personal opinions. This is with my own ethics. I believe, me being German, talk about free speech and, living
That's why I
very
like having
different.
these discussions with you.
But it was, I mean, I grew up as, I say anything, and, Germans are just kind of like, oh, okay, let's discuss this, where Americans ran away. Oftentimes I'm like, yeah, no, I don't, I disagree with this. And they were like, whoa, sort of, oh, let's just talk about something else. It's kind of, free speech is free speech, but nobody really wants to hear it. And especially if people don't agree with you, or, they don't know how to come back with something. It's like, for me, free speech is not fighting. For me, free speech is, I get to say what my thoughts are and my beliefs, and somebody else gets to do that. There's no convincing. I don't want anybody to, have my opinion. If they do, great. But if not, let's have a discussion. Maybe we can learn from each other. And that's why I think free speech is so, so important.
It is. And Yasmin, you know what I just thought of that's pretty fascinating, actually. And Charlie Kirk was totally free speech all the way. He just saying we need to have the dialogue. And you and I, and our discussions that we have here every week, well, we try to do it every week. I think is a great demonstration of that. You and I see the world significantly different, significantly different. And yet you and I laugh at each other, we mock each other, and yet at the end of it, we love each other. It's like, you're awesome, love you as a human being. And
Yeah.
I think I have hope, and maybe I'm delusional, maybe it's not possible, but just you and I and our interaction and the way we're able to have free speech, the way we're able to communicate, and you're able to say the things you say, and I might mock you for it. But nonetheless, I do listen. I listen to you. You listen to me. And we have this back and forth dialogue, I think is a great example of what we need to do more in our lives is people can say whatever they want, they can believe whatever they want. And that doesn't mean that they're saying bad about me, or that doesn't mean that in other words, I shouldn't take any of it personal. It doesn't mean that I should be upset and angry with them. What does it matter? What you believe, whether it's in contradiction to what I believe or not,
I
what does it
think,
really
wait,
matter as far as my life?
yeah, but wait, it all has to do with the delivery, right? So if I have an opinion, and that's between you and I too, I mean, when we sometimes have conversations and you say something, and I'm like, no, I can't even believe this is happening right now. So then I'm like, it does affect me sometimes personally. And I'm not objective when it comes to, because I see the world through my eyes. And
The
I
reason
feel,
why I'm laughing is the reason why you're upset is because you're a lefty. Lefties always get upset,
yes, I'm
and then they kill
left-handed.
people.
I am left-handed. I told you before, I do not want you to categorize me. I resent that, to be honest. Now I'm getting
Well,
upset.
okay, back up. Replay. You believe that the solution to a lot of problems in the world is governance, is government and government involvement and all that kind of stuff.
Guidance. I believe
Okay,
in
and
guidance.
I believe it's all individual, that the freedom for us to choose and for us to be creative and for us to accomplish. I want government out of my life completely. Get out of
I
my life.
understand that, but you're thinking about who you are, but there are other people
No,
than
no, I
you.
agree.
So you want to lead those who can't lead themselves? I mean, you are going to, there are those who lead and those who follow. And listening to you and you knowing your personality, how are these people going to live if they don't have guidance?
Well,
So
what it is, do you want the answer or do
uh,
you just want to leave the
maybe,
question there?
maybe
The
gentle.
answer is people that truly need help. It's the private sector, the churches, and the organizations are supposed to step up, not the federal government. The federal government is supposed to be
Oh,
out of that world. And that's per the Constitution of the United States of America. They're not supposed to be involved.
okay, wait. How about the churches and all the bad things they did? There was no government. It was the church that was the government many centuries ago. They ran
Oh, yeah.
everything. So you think they did something good?
But
Slaughtering?
here's the thing. Here's what I want you to realize. And I want you to think about this. The churches did do very bad things. But what did they do? And you said it a minute ago. They did it in the name of the government. It's always the government. The evil wasn't the church. It was the government being involved that created the
No,
evil.
the church was the government.
Yeah, we're saying the same
So
thing.
under the umbrella of God. They did very, very bad things under the
Yes,
umbrella of God. So there
yes.
is your organized religion. So we can just call it organized religion.
No, because if it's just organized religion, it's just not as big a problem. It's when government gets involved that it always corrupts. Always corrupts. So big government people, every time, like for example, in the history, just like this Charlie Kirk getting killed, every single attack, every single assassination that has occurred in the history of the United States has been by a big government promoter. Every one of them.
Todd, it's not that I get your concept. I totally get your concept, and I don't think we need to go over that today. I do understand I hear your beliefs, and I am all for it. But this country, especially, I think three-fourths of the people can't even relate to your concept. It's not possible. People need guidance. And yes, we can say, okay, moving forward, we have no government. Everybody's on their own. Go to church if you need, guidance.
You need guidance from God. So anyway, we'll wrap it up. There you go, folks. We just had this discussion. We completely disagree with each other. And Yasmin, you're awesome. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
You have an awesome
So
day. Take care.
entertaining. I love chatting with you.
We'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye bye.